Greetings everyone, Baldus here. In this video I'm going to showcase a disgustingly strong build for Druid. After grinding and testing a few builds, I have to say this is the best Druid build out there, even after the nerfs we got today. I have tried the Werewolf Tornado build with the uniques, but because of the randomness of the tornadoes and the pathing, it just doesn't clear 3 screens like Pulverize can. Yes, it has crazy damage on bosses, but that's a very small part of any dungeon. In this footage, I'm in a 4-man dungeon, so the health of the mobs is ×4, and I'm just overkilling everything solo. As you can see, the damage is pretty nutty, and the survivability is great too, thanks to our critical strike healing. I have also been running 85+ Nightmare Sigils since around level 70, and it clears them very comfortably, even the bosses. Yes, this build will never be the best at bossing, but it still holds its own. I will now let you watch the rest of the gameplay, and I'll be back with the full build guide.
Time to do that.
So I'm just going to go quickly through the gear, and then we'll have a look at the skill tree and then the Paragon Board. So for the gear, for the helmet, I have Vasili's Prayer. Makes your Earth skills now also Werebear skills and Fortify. This is a great helmet because of the stats. You got maximum life, overpower damage, damage while shapeshifted, and then you've also got Earth skills Werebear, so you can, while you're in Grizzly Rage, you can always use your Earthen Bulwark, and you can take Earth Spike for your generator. For the chest plate, I mean, this is quite a nice staple for all Werebear builds. So you've got physical damage increase, overpower damage increase, armor during fortified, armor while in werebear form. All very nice stats. And then of course you've got the +2 ranks to all werebear skills. For the gloves, you want to pick obviously ranks to pulverize, crit damage with earth skills, crit chance, all good stats. And then on this one I've got the pulverize is now also an earth skill legendary. For the legs, standard stats, maximum life, armor, damage reduction, and then I've got the earthen bulwark legendary, just to increase the duration and increase the barrier. For the boots, just want to try and get +2 max evade charges. I feel like that is the best option. And then good stats, maybe movement speed. I think I could definitely use an upgrade on these boots, but they'll do so far. And then for the boots, you must have this legendary imprint, the quicksand, where you slow enemies with your earth skills, because you need to apply a crowd control. Now for the weapon, you no longer want to go for two-handed maces with the pulverized build. You want to go with two-handed axes, because we're not trying to maximize overpower damage anymore, we're trying to maximize critical strike damage. So the damage to healthy enemies is a better option. And then, I mean, whatever you can get on a nice axe. Stunned enemies is good because pulverized stuns. All stats is good just for the Paragon Board, and willpower, of course. And probably core skill damage is probably the best stat you can get. And of course, the legendary imprint, you want to have the shockwave for pulverize. For the necklace, you want to try and get the stat for the overpowered damage with werebear skills. Just adds a bit more damage. I mean, there's loads of variations with necklaces, so just try and find something that fits a werebear build. And then you want to have the Grizzly Rampage legendary on this slot. At the max rank, you've got 8 seconds in addition. And then this is the core legendary. This is where we're getting our critical strike damage from. That's where you can see those massive numbers, up to 1 million plus, already at level 75. For the ring, you want to take this one, and the earth skills deal 40% more critical strike damage to crowd controlled enemies. So just for clearing mobs and stuff, as soon as you apply your slow debuff, you're gonna apply 40% more critical strike damage. Additionally, on a ring, maximum life's good, critical strike chance, crit damage, vulnerable damage, all good stats. For the final ring, now this is a very important one. This is what enables us to really just keep on slamming continuously, never ending. It's the restore like 1 to 4 of your primary resource when you crowd control an enemy. This is really what makes the build, honestly. And then you've got some nice stats there. Probably need to change that lightning critical strike damage. But yeah, that's the gear. Now onto the spirit boons. So for the spirit boons, no longer need to have maximum spirit at this point, so just take the reduced damage from elites. For the eagle, take maximum life, or you could take critical strike damage. I don't know what's better, but I like a bit of survivability. Considering we're already reaching thousands of percent critical strike damage, I don't think 30% is going to add that much. So this adds a bit of damage and survivability. For the wolf slot, you want calamity. This is a must because you want to have grizzly rage up as long as possible. For the final row, you want to take, because of the nerf, you've all seen the nerfs to overpower, and as you can see from the footage, it didn't really make much difference, but you no longer want to take this anymore, because like I said before, we're focused around critical strike damage and not overpowers. So you want to take this critical strikes with shape-shifting skills heal you for 3% max life. just a great node for survivability, considering we're critically striking almost every hit. And then finally, you want to take Calm before the Storm. This has a chance to reduce our Grizzly Rage cooldown, so we can use it more often. Okay, so let's move on to the skill tree first. So because of the helmet, you can take Earth Spike, so we can now use it in our werebear form. We want to take the standard damage at the expense of spirit cost. Obviously pulverize with the stun and overpower. Try and get as many levels as you can in here. You want to get the crit chance to close, damage reduction, Earthen Bulwark to unstoppable fortify. Also for defense, non-physical resistance and damage reduction after using defensive skill. I've put 2 points into here as well because we're doing a lot of distant damage with our shockwave and pulverize, and it's doubling because it's against slowed enemies or stunned enemies. You want to take Hurricane. This helps to slow some enemies and also apply vulnerability. We're currently missing a bit of vulnerability in this build, but in the later Paragon boards, we'll pick up at a node that applies vulnerability. This also helps to trigger the Spirit Boon to reduce the cooldown of Grizzly Rage. Also, you want to take all of these passives for the Earth, just increasing damage and helping fortify a bit more. Additionally, you want to take all these nature magic nodes. They're all very useful. Obviously take Grizzly Rage, and of course the Might, the most essential part of the build. Earth Sign Strength is it's nowhere near as strong because this is just a flat buff, whereas this can scale exponentially with critical strike damage. Okay, for the Paragon board, obviously it's not complete, but on the first board, taking this one, it's called Spirit, increases critical strike damage with 4 skills, and then if you have 25 decks in the area, mobs take more critical damage. Moving up for the first board, and this is quite important. A lot of people don't choose this for the first board, but it's very important because you really want to have good spirit generation. And also this is a nice buff. You should always have 30% increased damage. So the reason why this board's important is because it increases our maximum spirit and also spirit on kill. Spirit on kill is probably the best stat because that's just what we need. We've also got maximum life here. And then for the glyph on this one, we're going to pick Dominate. So this is for our overpower damage. It's not necessarily going to increase all our damage, but when we do overpower, we do get that additional damage. It's quite easy to get in this board as well. You also want to take more resistance to elements and for skill damage. For the next board along, we're taking now the Execute with Werebear. Again on this board so far, obviously I'm gonna take more of these nodes for defense and probably more damage while healthy. But initially, you wanna go straight for this legendary node, and then to the healthy enemies, and then down to the Werebear skill damage and overpower. My next route would be along here, and to take the glyph slot, get these nodes, and then come down and get this. This board is going to be one you invest quite a lot of points on, and there should only be one more board after this. So that's pretty much it for the build. As you can see from the footage, it's possibly this, I think very much is the strongest Druid build by quite a bit, and I think it will remain the strongest even up to 100 Paragon. At least for dungeon clearing. There is better builds for boss damage and world bosses, but dungeons are far more common than a boss. So there we have it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe if you found the video useful, and also come and see me on Twitch at Baldus Maximus. I'll be live tomorrow and just throughout Diablo 4. And thank you again. Cheerio.